A very good morning, welcome. It's Jeff Lawton. It is Tuesday, the 11th of March, and the best 4 days jump racing of the year starts today. And it's pretty much deja vu from 2015 when there were 4 hot pots running. The first 3 all won, and it was all riding on Annie Power. She was clear when she stepped at the last and came down, saving the bookmakers an estimated £50 million. Now, hopefully you've been watching these videos for the last couple of weeks, and hopefully you understand what I'm trying to do here. There's an old adage that if you give somebody a fish, they'll eat today, but if you give them a fishing rod, they'll eat well forever. So this is not a channel to tip horses to as such, more to help you to change the way that you look at races and choose the races to bet in. Yes, we'd all like to back a 16 to 1 winner, but realistically, you'll hit one every Pancake Tuesday and then spend the rest of the year looking for the next one. So concentrate on the races where the punter is favourite and not the bookmaker. Now, I'm going to cover quite a few of the races at Cheltenham today. And remember, if you do want to join or inquire about my private service, drop me an email below at the address, which is jefflawtonmanagement@gmail.com. And I'll mention the races that I'm going to be playing in, but I'm not obviously specific about my bets, whereas my private clients were told on Saturday, they were told 2 horses, Charisma Cat and Yes Day, who both won easily and available at 7 to 4. They were also told to do the double, making 22 points on the day. And yesterday they were given 2 horses, Skinful at 13 to 8 and Siam Park at 11 to 8, both won. Now, since the start of the jump season, that's now 16 winning weeks from 17, with our profit currently standing at 223 points. That's just from an average of 2 bets per day. And these are sent by text every morning at 8:30. If you're interested, that's fine. If not, then you can get my views on here from about 11 o'clock every day for free. Anyway, let's go on with today's racing, and we'll look at specifically at the short ones and see whether there's any value there to be had and whether they're worth backing. Starting the 120, now it looks like it could be a Willie Mullins benefit day where he's got 3 of these short ones. And we'll start with Kopek de Board in the 120. Now he looks a very smart specimen of a horse, and they went to €130,000 when they bought him in June 2023. He won his bumper fairly impressively this time last year by 13 lengths before winning his maiden over hurdles on Boxing Day. But to be honest, you wouldn't have backed him for this race on the back of that, as his jumping was quite novice-y. However, they've done loads of schooling with him at home, and at the start of February ran in a Grade 1 at Leopardstown, where he raced prominently and sauntered clear from before the home turn, winning unextended by 13 lengths. This is not as big a field as normal in this race, and the plan is to race prominently or make it if nothing wants to do the donkey work. I have to say it's as impressive as I've seen from a novice, and he must have some unbelievable engine. If he jumps well enough here, I think he'll be very hard to beat. In the 2 o'clock, Willie Mullins runs at Madgeborough. Now, he's no stranger to Cheltenham, having won last year's Triumph Hurdle, but he's such a big, imposing horse that they wanted to send him chasing as soon as possible. He won both his starts over fences so far, and while he's certainly not the finished article as he's prone to making novice mistakes, he's such an engine that these mistakes don't seem to bother him. Django Bay's dropping to 2 mile, which surely won't suit him, so the only realistic danger is Lord du Sud, who is unbeaten in 4 races over fences. Whilst I don't really want to back Madgeborough at the price because of his potential jumping errors, I really wouldn't want to take him on either. In the 320, Willie Mullins' third short one is Lossiemouth. Now, the talk all year was of her taking on Constitution Hill in the Champion Hurdle, but the yard had a last-minute change of heart and switched her to the mares race that she won last year. In fact, she's won at the last 2 festivals, as she won the Triumph Hurdle 2 years ago. But is she in the same form as last year? Because rumours are coming out saying she worked particularly badly a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. She started this season off well enough, winning a Grade 1 at Fairyhouse, beating the 164 rated Tiapu. She beat that easily enough and then went to Kempton on Boxing Day to take on Constitution Hill. But that was over 2 miles on good ground on a speed track, and she was always out of her comfort zone and probably did well to get within 2.5 lengths of him. She then ran in the Irish champion hurdle at Leopardstown, again over 2 miles, and she was matching strides and enjoying herself out in front, upsides the 168 rated Stateman, but she took a crashing fall 4 out. She's normally such a safe and reliable jumper, and that was totally out of character. Now she returns to 2 mile 4 today, and as her last 3 wins were over that trip, that's sure to be a plus. The handicapper says she is at least £9 better than anything in this field, and provided she's none the worse for a fall last time, I thought she'd take all the beating here, given her previous form on the track. Now, I do hear what they're saying about these rumours coming out, but I'm sure they wouldn't be running if they didn't think she was A1, and I do think she'll take the beating. In the 4 o'clock, Constitution Hill runs in the champion hurdle. Now, he's the Frankel of the national hunt world, having won all his 10 races, 8 of them at Grade 1 level. But all has not been well, and we didn't see him for a year. Now, he missed last year's champion hurdle, for which he was a short price anti-post favourite. But when he came back for the Christmas hurdle at Kempton on Boxing Day, he beat Lossiemouth convincingly. But as I said, Lossiemouth didn't have things in her favour that day. He then came back to Cheltenham for a Grade 2 in January, where he beat 146 rated horses fairly comfortably. But here he takes on 160 plus horses, and this will be a different ball game. Now, there's nothing to say he's not as good as he was 2 years ago when he murdered the field in the race, including Stateman. And as I said, he is unbeaten after 10 races. I think he will win, and I want him to win. But if he gets beaten, the warning signals were there. Better Days Ahead could hardly have been more impressive when she won a Grade 1 by 30 lengths at Leopardstown at Christmas, where she beat Stateman out of sight. But he didn't run his race that day, and it'd be folly to use him as the benchmark. She gets £7 from Constitution Hill today, but I do think Constitution Hill will win. But do I want to back him? Definitely not, but I will be cheering him on. In the 440, Stencil, trained in France by Noel George and Amanda Zetterholm. Now, I watched all his French races this morning, and whilst he was impressive, he was still quite novice-y. But when he came to Cheltenham in January for the Triumph Hurdle trial, his jumping was much more slick. And whilst he couldn't live with East India Doc, who is roughly 2-1 favourite for the Triumph Hurdle itself, he was 18 lengths clear of the third horse and wasn't unduly knocked about. Now, I don't think the handicapper has been unduly kind to him with an opening mark of 135 on the bare form, but it is possible that East India Doc could be very smart, and so 135 maybe doesn't look too bad. That piece of form is the best on offer, and if he gets a good position and into a rhythm, he could be hard to peg back. Now, I'm going to be putting these videos up all week. I would like you to hit the subscribe button below, purely and simply so that when I do put it up, you then get a notification to say I've put one online, and that's all you need to do. As I say, if you do want to join my private service, then, or even just inquire about it, or ask me anything horse racing related, just drop me an email below at jefflawtonmanagement@gmail.com, and you'll find, as I say, you'll find the address in the notes below. And I'll speak to you same time tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by.